What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and we will also review the Liverpool Bayern Munich blockbuster 7-goal thriller pre-season game in the second part of the video. But what do you think about Liverpool bidding only 41 or 42 million pounds for Lavia after we waited 6 days to put a second bid in? I think we should have bid a little bit higher because Southampton are not budging from their 50 million pound valuation, and in this video we will talk about Andre, the brilliant Fluminense midfielder, who is a very good box-to-box midfielder as well. So first of all, let's talk about Lavia, because Paul Jones confirmed that Liverpool have offered 41 million inclusive of add-ons, and that follows of course last week's bid of 34 million plus 4 million in bonuses. So that's 38 million. We only improved that by 3 million. So Southampton continue to hold out for 50 million pounds for Lavia. So they rejected the second bid, and Liverpool better offer more money. So the third bid will be accepted, because the way that we defended against Bayern Munich was super concerning. I think signing a defensive midfielder and a left-sided centre-back is an absolute must before the season starts, or even after the Chelsea game is fine. Just get this done, because we still have 1 month left of the transfer window, so we can rectify the problems. Going forward, we are as good as Man City. I believe that with the 5 attackers that we have, we are as good as anyone going forward. We can score as many goals as anyone, but defensively we are a shambles. If Konate or Van Dijk gets injured, Matip and Gomez will be our first or second choice centre-backs, and they are both not good enough to play this tactic of playing in a very high line, and the right-sided centre-back has to cover so much ground that it's almost impossible to not concede goals in this system, because like no centre-back is perfect. No, you can't expect any centre-back to win every single duel. So I think Liverpool will get this deal done. Melissa Reddy is saying today, this morning, that the dialogue is open between Southampton and Liverpool over Lavia. He wants the move, so Lavia wants to sign for Liverpool, but compromise still is needed over the transfer fee. Liverpool don't want to pay the 50 million pounds for Lavia. One of the main reasons is that Liverpool know that the other top clubs who used to be interested in Lavia, the likes of Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, they are not interested in Lavia anymore. Arsenal pulled out because they signed Declan Rice. Thomas Partey is not leaving, so Arsenal don't need a defensive midfielder anymore. Chelsea are focusing on Moises Caicedo, and they are trying to get that deal done. Man United are looking at different profile of players. They have enough defensive midfielders as it stands, and they also spent a lot of money on Casemiro last season, and they are looking to sign other kind of players, and they also spent a lot of money on Højlund, their new striker. Crazy amount of money for a player to score 9 goals in one of the top 5 leagues after just 1 season. He's going to cost like as much as Darwin Núñez, or maybe even more. Absolutely crazy. Liverpool are working on other options. Melissa Reddy is confirming, and other journalists have confirmed this, that Liverpool are in talks with Fluminense for Andre, the 22-year-old midfielder, who is honestly probably the biggest talent of this generation in Brazilian football. I'm talking between 18 and 24 years old. He's the best midfielder in the Brazilian league in this age bracket, and it's clear that Liverpool are looking at 2 profiles: a controller a la Thiago, a controller type of midfielder, and the progressive destroyer, somebody who is more like Fabinho, who is a destroyer but who can also progress with the ball. Lavia is the progressive destroyer, and Andre could be the controller, because he can also attack as well as defend. So in this video we will take a look at what Andre could bring to Liverpool, what kind of a profile of a player he is. I honestly don't think that Liverpool will sign 2 more midfielders, because we desperately need to sign a centre-back as well. Matip and Gomez as backups, they are just not good enough. Liverpool will not challenge for the title as it stands with these 4 defenders, centre-backs at the club. Even if we sign 2 midfielders in front of them, the centre-backs are just not good enough, apart from Konate and Van Dijk. And it's really frustrating, because if we were to sign sign a much better centre-back to cover for Konate and Van Dijk, honestly Liverpool could challenge for the title, because we have the squad good enough for that going forward and in midfield. We just need to sort out the defensive midfield spot and the centre-back spot, and maybe alter the tactics a little bit, because playing such a high line is absolutely suicidal at this point, in my opinion. And the way that these talks are going with Fluminense, they are reluctant to sell, because Fluminense are one of the favorites to win the Copa Libertadores, which is the equivalent of the Champions League in South America. It's the biggest club competition in South American football, and also Fluminense have a great chance of winning it. Andre is their best player, and also the Serie A of Brazil, the Brazilian league, ends in December. So it would be cheaper to agree a deal now and get him in the winter transfer window, so in January. So the same thing that Man City did with Gabriel Jesus. They bought him in the summer, but they let him stay at his club in Brazil until the winter transfer window. So what Liverpool could do is sign Lavia right now, sign Andre, get the deal done, but he joins in December, because Fluminense would accept a much lower transfer fee right now if they get to keep the player until December. Otherwise, they say pay the release clause, which is 40 million euros. Otherwise, we would only need to pay 25 million euros, maybe maximum 30 million euros, but that would still be only 26 million pounds, much less than the 35 million that we had to pay if we wanted him right now. Also, you have to consider that, yes, Fluminense don't have a lot of players who are worth more than 5 million euros, because the Brazilian league is not an elite league. Andre is their best player. But Fluminense want to win the Libertadores. They have never won the competition, and it's absolutely crucial to them that they do well this season. And Andre is crucial for it. He has a deal with the Fluminense board and the staff to stay until December, and he's playing for the national team manager. He doesn't need to go to Europe right now, because Fluminense are desperate to win the Copa Libertadores. They want to hold on to Andre until December. But I think a 25 million pound bid, which is around 31 million euros, could tempt Fluminense into selling Andre, especially because as soon as Andre heard of Liverpool's interest, he's absolutely desperate to join the club. Andre loves Liverpool, and the fact that we had 3 Brazilians recently, Fabinho, Alisson and Firmino, I'm sure a lot of players in Brazil watched a lot of games of Liverpool, and Alisson is still here. And of course, Andre is a player that we started looking at a lot closer when he was selected for the Brazilian national team, because you have to be an outstanding player to get selected from the Brazilian league, because there are so many brilliant Brazilian footballers playing over here in Europe. So I'm sure that Andre is a quality player, even though I've never watched him play before, I have to be honest. The only way I would be happy is get Lavia right now, get a centre back, plus sign Andre, but only get him in December or January. I would be fine with that. But the bare minimum that Liverpool have to do in the remaining month of the transfer window is get a defensive midfielder like Lavia and get a centre back. Anything else, and Liverpool haven't done their job properly, and that will be on the owners. And the pain from last summer is reoccurring, because last summer Liverpool desperately needed to sign a midfielder, and even Jurgen Klopp said that our midfield was fine. This time it's different though. This time Jurgen Klopp is openly saying that Liverpool need a midfielder and a centre-back. So hopefully we are working on signing these kind of players behind the scenes. Fluminense drew 1-1 against Argentinos Juniors, the former club of Alexis McAllister, and they have the return leg at home. So I think they have a good chance of going through. This is the last 16 of the Copa Libertadores. Andre is not a very tall player, but he is a very, very clever footballer. He is 176 centimeters tall, that's 5 foot 9 inches tall, and he has been playing at Fluminense since 2013 when he joined their youth setup aged just 12. And also he has been playing professionally since 2020. That was his first season, and he already won 4 trophies with Fluminense. 2 cups, the Guanabara Cup, he won it twice, and he also won the Campeonato Carioca. I'm not really familiar with the setup at Brazilian football, so I'm not sure how big these trophies are, but Fluminense has never won the Copa Libertadores, or I think they haven't won the Brazilian league many times either. And one of the main reasons why I would be fine with just signing one more defensive midfielder and wait for Andre until December or January is because Liverpool basically will play one big game every week. The Europa League, we can rest players. We can play Bajcetic, for example, in the holding midfield role. And I think with Liverpool, with the firepower they have, we would still go through in the Europa League group stages, even if we didn't play our best players in that competition. We can play the backup players and the kids in the Europa League. So Liverpool can get away with just Lavia as our main defensive midfielder until December or January. And then in January, Andre joins, and that's when the Europa League knockout stages will start. That's when the FA Cup starts. That's when the Premier League run-in will happen. So hopefully Liverpool will be able to compete on multiple fronts. Also important to note, Southampton's season starts this weekend. The Championship, the English second division, starts on Friday or Saturday. So Southampton will want to get all their transfers done, or most of their transfers done, before that, and I don't think Lavia would want to be at Southampton when they start their season in the Championship. So I think the deal will get done this week after the second bid and Liverpool learning what Southampton really want for Lavia. I think this will accelerate talks and proceedings. One of the main reasons I think also why Liverpool are haggling over a few £1 million is that we want to have more money to strengthen the team at the centre-back position, and also probably to have more money to maybe sign another midfielder, because Jurgen Klopp confirmed that Liverpool are working on multiple transfer targets, on multiple players. So hopefully Liverpool want to sign at least 2 players, maybe even 3, and that's why we are trying to force Southampton's hand into accepting a 45-46 million pound bid. I think in the end that is the ballpark figure of where the two sides will meet on their valuation. But also Liverpool are showing to Southampton with this Andre interest that we won't budge, we won't pay the 50 million pounds that you want. And also Lavia probably desperately wants to join Liverpool. We already agreed personal terms with him, so hopefully Lavia will tell Southampton as well to accept Liverpool's third bid, which will arrive probably later this week. Last season Jurgen Klopp made the mistake of wanting either Tchouaméni or Bellingham and nobody else, until there was 5 days left of the transfer window. This season I don't think we are making the same mistakes, because we are actively pursuing Lavia, we are actively in talks to sign Andre, and there is still a month left in the transfer window, so Liverpool are not sitting on their hands like last season. We are actively trying to sign players, and that's very, very encouraging, because Jurgen Klopp knows that after Liverpool lost 5 midfielders, that we need at least 3 midfielders coming in, especially after losing Fabinho and Henderson, 2 of our regulars. So I'm really encouraged and intrigued on what Liverpool will do in the rest of the transfer window. Also, Alexis McAllister got injured. He had to be substituted at half-time, but thankfully it's only a knock. Jurgen Klopp confirmed it, and Jurgen Klopp was not impressed with the defending at all, and he said the team was tired as well in the second half. Liverpool scored 15 goals in pre-season, which is absolutely brilliant, but we also conceded 10 goals, which is super worrying. We only kept 1 clean sheet, and that was against Championship side Leicester. And obviously we still have the same defensive issues because we haven't done anything in the transfer market to address them. We only signed players so far who are players for the attack. So it's absolutely vital for Liverpool now to sign the kind of players with the defensive skill set to take us up a level. Defensively, we are not good enough. We will concede so many goals, even more goals than last season if we go into this season without a proper defensive midfielder, without reinforcing the centre-back position. Last season we conceded 47 goals, and this season it could be even worse. So yeah, let me know what you think. The Bayern Munich game was super boring. Gakpo looked brilliant, Jota looked great, Luis Diaz scored a brilliant goal. But defensively, especially on the right side with this high line, even though 2 of Bayern Munich's goals looked offside, I haven't watched the replays yet. properly, but they looked offside. But still, Liverpool looked like a team that badly needs a proper defensive midfielder. And also, if Konate and Van Dijk are not playing together, our centre-back options are not good enough in my opinion. Let me know what is yours in the comments below. Thanks for watching, have a nice day. See you later guys, goodbye.